Hi, welcome back to the garden. Today is Saturday, May 14th, and you know what Saturday means. We do a quick review of this garden, and then we go to you and see what's going on in your garden. If you're new to my channel, you're in for a real treat. Saturdays are reserved for you and what's going on in your garden. So while I hobble on into this garden, let's go to you and see what's going on in your garden.
Belt Loop has been a friend to this channel for a while. Your containers are looking great. He's doing a super trellis, 12 feet tall or something. That is awesome. Now I've linked his channel down below in the description box. Jeremy's raised beds are starting to fill out. Those strawberries look delicious. Fried green tomatoes for dinner already? Thank you for making my mouth water. Thank you, Jeremy. We saw Donald's garden last week. He's installed trellises. This looks great. Thank you. Sheena is redesigning her garden area this year. She's going to move her greenhouse and raised beds onto the blue tarp. You're going to take advantage of the shade while still having well over 6 hours of direct sun for the plants that need that. Looks like you got plenty of room to start a nice deep mulch garden. Just saying. Thank you.
Weren't those terrific? You can participate too if you'd like. Just email me at waylandsmalley5@gmail.com. The address is in the description box below. I invite you to participate. I guarantee you all other gardeners would love to see what you're doing in your garden. Now let's take a look at the peanuts. The ones we started in the containers are doing really good. Now the ones that we started in the ground, we've got a few that are up. But since I spaced them out so far, and if you've been following me, you know I don't like to space things out very much. I put a couple of zucchini right in the middle. And they're coming up. So we'll see what we get. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more.
Bruce's Florida garden is in full swing. His vegetables are producing very, very well. Bruce had to prune his fig down to the ground because of the freeze. Bounced back like a champ. Already have little figs. And of course, what would Florida be without bananas and this beautiful pineapple? Thank you, Bruce. Larry's North Carolina garden isn't too far behind, and it looks like you're going to be blessed with a bountiful harvest shortly. Thank you, Larry. What's that old saying, everything's bigger in Texas? Well, I don't know about that, but Texas is also in full swing. Valerie, your containers are awesome as always. And your harvest looks very tasty. We look forward to seeing what your garden produces this summer. Thank you, Valerie.
I'm amazed at what our friends and neighbors are doing in their gardens. Now the lettuce that we planted in the mini greenhouse in the middle of that cold snap, they're coming on really, really well.
Also, our peas and carrots are climbing nicely. Now the potato patch is pretty respectable. We've got some cauliflower and some new little broccoli heads where we took the last broccoli. Last year's carrots are just about to go to seed, and that's what we wanted. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more. Michael and Allison thought they'd go a bit bigger for their second year of raised bed deep mulch gardening. I guess providing your own pollinators, that's one way to stay ahead of the game. Homegrown honey, anyhow. Your garden is exceptional, and we look forward to seeing more great ideas from you. Thank you for sharing. Nora, again, your creativity just blows me away. suitcase full of flowers, and that spilled jug flower bed, that's simply amazing. Thank you for the great ideas and keep them coming. Denise said she's still behind schedule, but everything is coming along nicely. Denise, thank you for showing us several unique and inspiring ways to grow a lot of food in a very limited space. Thank you.
I mean, I have no words for what our friends and neighbors are doing in their gardens. If you remember when we put these in the ground, pinched them off and put them down pretty low, they already got some really nice growth on it. Let's go back out there and take a look at a few more. These are just amazing.
Art, your pineapple garden has inspired many. Your deep mulch raised beds look good and things are progressing nicely, thank you. Mike and Linda's garden is growing like mad. You're going to have so many tomatoes. And look at that yellow squash, my favorite. Thank you for the update, this is terrific. Walter, your garden is growing nicely. And that chayote vine, I didn't know it grew that fast. Looks like you found a place for your okra. When you said you planted more than you had room for, you weren't lying. I can't wait to see what you come up with this summer. You see, you've already had to move your banana. Virginia's garden is doing pretty well. She harvested the last of her fall carrots and onions. They're going to have to try a chicken wire cage to see if they can't stop a persistent gopher from stealing their tomato plants. If not that, they may have to go Caddyshack on him. Let us know how this works. Thank you.
Hit that like button and leave a comment down below and let everybody know how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their garden. It really does help the algorithm. And if you shared this with like-minded people, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. Now these peas are the ones that we started in the container, then brought out here and planted. And if you can see in front of there, we got a couple volunteer tomatoes that are coming up. And over on this side, and a watermelon just coming up on its own. Which makes sense because we had cantaloupe and watermelon over here. I guess I shouldn't be so sloppy when I'm eating in the garden. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I planned on that and I was waiting on those leeks to go to seed. But since we started this deep mulch 3 years ago, coming on our 4th summer, things have grown different than I've ever known them to grow. That's the thing about this deep mulch. It's pretty forgiving. It's really good for the plants, and there's not a lot of extra work. I mean, you see me hobbling around out here, there's no way I could weed a garden this big with my foot the way it is. Although if you use a little creativity and you plan it out a little bit, even if you don't get much help, you can still get a crop in. That's one of the reasons we do this on Saturday. Gain inspiration and gain motivation. You guys are awesome. You didn't think I was going to leave off lotus, did you?
The lotus that Scott overwintered, they're coming on flower. The rest of them are doing just fine. Valerie's seeds, they're growing well. Arch rhizome's also doing good. And so are Walter's. Mine are finally doing okay. I think I might need to move mine into a sunnier spot.
I want to thank you for coming by and celebrating what our friends and neighbors are doing in their gardens. I hope you gained a little inspiration, maybe an idea or two. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you.
Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.